Good morning. How is everyone today? Hope you are doing well. We are getting ready to do our tutorial for today. And I have, let's see, let me find my reference photo. So this is what we are going to do today. We are going to do this cute little mouse. And so if you guys are ready to get started on some watercolors, then this is the place to be, because we are going to do a mouse today. That was one that's on our list. I'm going to mark this off because, let's see, we did the bug yesterday and today we're doing the mouse. So anything you guys want me to add to my list, you guys just shout them out there in the comments and I will add it to my list, and we will do our best to try it, even though I likely will make it crazy. Hey Rhonda, how's it going? I'm just replacing the paper in my printer because I printed this today's inspiration picture so we could have it in case people needed it after I'd already shown it, because I won't have to take my camera down off the tripod if I do that. So I thought about that yesterday and I was like, we should do that. So I did it today. So I will have it up on my end, but if we need it for anything, then I'll have it printed out of my little handy dandy HPRT printer. So I'm learning to use this in other ways. So hang on one second, guys. I'm gonna put my phone on Do Not Disturb. HPRT printer. So I'm learning to use this in other ways. So hang on one second, guys. I'm gonna put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Had to get that done. So this is what we're going to be painting today. Now, you can't see the little arm. It doesn't go all the way out because it printed it off the page, but that's okay. It's got the gist of it so you guys can kind of see it, which was great. I know that printer is awesome. I have some flash codes. I'm going to start a flash sale on it just in case you guys want it. No pressure or anything, but I want to go ahead and start it because the flash sales only go for like 10 minutes at a time. And so I'll start it while we're, going through things. And if anybody wants me to restart it again, I can do that too. The paper sale is also started. So I have the flash sale on the printer and I have the flash sale on the paper. So the printer with just 5 things of paper is $64.99. Now, if you get the printer with the 50 sheets of paper like I did, it's like $92 something, but it's normally a lot more than that. It's like a couple $100. So you're saving quite a bit of money. But don't feel obligated. I just wanted to have it available for those of you who want this little printer, because I'm telling you, it's really cool. And what I did was today I went ahead and printed our reference photo so that once it's up on the tripod, if somebody comes in late and they need to see what we're painting, I'll keep it near and we can show them what we're working on. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to do the little mouse and the teacup. So I plan to do that today. All right. So here beside me, I have the reference on my iPad, but, and this is AI generated. It is not something that I planned, that I took from someone else. I just generated it on AI in my art style so that we could use it as a reference. And then I printed it on my little Bluetooth printer here into a sticker so that we could have a reference. You know, I can show it to you if this is on the tripod above, because the tripod above that I give y'all the overhead view on is a regular, like, it's not a magnetic tripod, so it's really hard to get on and off. Plus I block my my microphone sometimes, so it gets funky. So it's just easier not to have to take it down. So once I get it up there. So I went ahead and printed it with my printer. Vero Mom, thank you for that purchase. I see that you got the one with the 50 sheets. It's really, really good. That's a great price for it too. You got the one with the 50 sheets for $50 less than you get the one with 5 sheets at the normal price. So like, that's a really good deal. Normally, the normal price for the one with 5 sheets is $159. So, yeah, I know. I'm the same way. I do the same thing. I cave all the time. All the time when I'm on people's lives. It's okay. It's okay. You're going to enjoy it. You are going to love it so much. I promise. When you get it, it's super easy to set up too. You just download the app, and then you Bluetooth the app to the printer, and then you just you go into your photos and select the photo that you want to do and click print, and it will print it straight to your printer. It's super, super easy to use. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult to hook up and all of that when I got it, but I didn't. When I saw the small picture, I first thought was, does the mouse have one of those upper nose piercings? No, it doesn't. It is a, so this is what we're going to do today. Okay. So this is on my iPad. Oh, goodness. Sorry. But I printed it on my photo printer, my little Bluetooth printer that is below, so that we could have it. If it's once I'm on the overhead tripod, I won't have to take my phone down for those. Yeah, for you, those who need to see it again, I can just keep it down here and we can look at it from there. So, okay, so we are going to do a really cool mouse today. Now, guys, this is a little bit more in depth than I normally do. So, it's liable to be a disaster. This could turn out so badly. And I want you guys to know that up front, because you guys, I'm not a trained artist. I did not go to art school. I taught myself through books and videos and all the things. So if this turns out to be a disaster, just know that sometimes they're beautiful. Sometimes, like this day, they don't turn out that great. But sometimes they turn out so stinking cute, like this day or this day. You just never know. This was super cute too, if I hadn't messed up the stupid signature. But like this, so cute, right? So just know that if we do this today, this could be a disaster, because this is a lot more in-depth painting than I'm used to. So just know that up front. And if it turns out to be a disaster, well, we will learn through the process. That's the thing. This is about the process. It's not about the results, and it is about learning as we go. So that is what we are going to do. So today we are going to do the mouse. We are probably going to learn some hard lessons, and that is okay, because it's going to make us a better artist in the long run. Okay? So as long as everybody is okay with that, then that is what we are going to do. All right? So let me find my piece of wood that I taped my paper down to. I'm not sure where I stuck it when I cleaned up last night. So that I need to find really quickly. Oh, here it is. So we're going to go ahead and tape our piece down onto the paper, and we will go over all of the equipment that we are going to use to do our tutorial today. You thought the eyes, yes, those were eyes. Let's see. Oh, you thought the eyes were closed? Yeah. Okay. Yep. So it's a little mouse with some eyes. Sorry, guys. I'm taking my supplements. My morning supplements. Okay. Okay, let's get going. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to tape this up first, and then we'll go through what we're going to use. Just know that I'm taping mine with washi tape. However, you can tape yours with whatever tape that you want to use. It doesn't have to be washi tape. You can use painter's tape. You can use yours with whatever tape that you want to use. It doesn't have to be washi tape. You can use painter's tape. You can use, hang on. You can use, good morning, Loretta. How's it going? You can use painter's tape, artist tape, washi tape, whatever you feel like makes your lines the cleanest. Mine happens to be washi tape. I give myself about a 1/4 inch border all the way around. So if you guys are, prefer something other than washi tape, that's fine too. One of the very few products in the Meeden line that I do not recommend is the art tape. I tried it. I didn't like it. It kept giving me, like uneven lines. The lines weren't clean. Oh, that has a tear on it. Is that a tear? I can't tell. All right, guys, we're going to switch. Sorry, this piece of paper has a tear on it, and I don't want to use it if it's torn. So let me get a new piece of paper. Some of my paper is messed up, so. All right, this one's a good sheet. All right. Retape, redo. Good morning, Mom. How are you? We're going to do this mouse today. I printed it on my printer so that I would have it and not have to take it down off the tripod when people wanted to see the inspiration photo. Thank you for the heart me's. I appreciate that so very much. Y'all don't forget to grab your engagement points from the fan club right up here in this corner. If you have not done that, it helps your account, it helps my account, and it is highly appreciated. Tap the screen so we get out to the FYP. Give us some likes, shares, all the things as we get ready to do our tutorial for today. Again, I'm just using washi tape and I'm doing it on, I'm giving myself a 1/4 inch border all of the way around. I do it onto a piece of wood because I want to be able to move my paper around as I paint. Cynthia, thank you so much for the heart me's. And so it's important that I be able to do that. So if I taped it to my desk, I wouldn't be able to. So this is how I do mine. So let's talk about the things that we are going to use today. We are going to use the NIC Pro pencil, the pencil kit, the mechanical pencil set from NIC Pro. You know what, guys? I'm going to have to run get that. Dadgummit. I left it in the house because I used it last night. Let me flip y'all around. Y'all can walk with me in the house. Darn it. And I look terrible today. I used it last night. Let me flip y'all around. Y'all can walk with me in the house. Darn it. And I look terrible today, but that's okay. I took it in to do some sketching last night into the house because I did a sketch for you guys. This is good. I'm glad if forgetting this reminded me that I did this. So I did a sketch. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. I did a sketch last night that is going to be available for a digital download for you guys. And you can download it onto digital paper, or not digital paper, digital download it and print it onto watercolor paper, and it's a sketch, and then you can do watercolor over it. So you don't have to draw it. It'll be drawn for you. So I thought that would be fun to do something like that for you guys, since y'all talk about, you know, a lot of times drawing is one of your struggles. So I sat down last night and drew this out, and I was going to put it on my somewhere. I'm not sure how to set that up where you guys can access it, but I think I can do it on like a blog or something. So I'm not sure, but I thought it would be fun to do that. Let me show it to you guys. Let me see if I can switch you guys around again now. Flip the camera. Okay, so before we do that, I was going to show you this. Let's see. So we have this little lion. Isn't he cute? So if I scan him and make a digital copy available for you guys, you can download it and then paint it however you want. What do you guys think of that idea? Is that a terrible idea, or is it, I don't know. I just thought it would be cute. So anyway, that's what I did last night. So that is why my pencils were inside. Okay. Kendra Kelly says she likes that idea. Ocean art by design. Shelly Ann says it's adorable. Okay, cool. That's good. I'll figure out a way to make the link accessible for you. All right. So we are going to use this Nick Pro set. Okay, this is my sketching set. And what you do with this is, sorry, it always catches right there. You get your 0.5, 0.7, 0.9, 3 of your 2.0 pencils, okay? The reason I like using mechanical pencils is because you don't have the dulling of the lead. So you get a consistent line depth or line width in your drawings because you don't have to sharpen these. They stay the same no matter what. You just push the button and more lead comes out. So when you're using a regular pencil, as the lead dulls, the line gets wider and wider, so you don't get consistent lines in your drawings. So using a mechanical pencil set, you do that. Additionally, with this, you get all of your different pencil sizes. So for instance, on that drawing that I just showed you guys, I was able to do the, like I did the whiskers with a wider pencil lead. So I did the whiskers with the 0.9, whereas I did the hair with the 0.7, and I did the tail with the 0.5. So you can see the difference in the widths of those lines, but they're all consistent across the drawing. And that is because I'm using the mechanical pencil as opposed to using a regular pencil that will get dull, and then the tip gets wider and wider as it dulls. So that's why I like using a mechanical pencil set. And you get the different lead hardnesses as well. So you get your dark leads, your light leads, all of that as well for all of them. You get colored leads for your 2.0s. You get extra erasers. You get a kneaded eraser. You get 2 or 3 of these soft erasers as well. And you get some pencil sharpeners for your 2.0 leads. So this is a great little set if you do sketches. And it is the one that I use in all of my sketches. You can see this flower right here. I used several different sizes to do the different things in this flower sketch that I did. So if you guys are looking for a really good sketch kit, this one is a good one. So we'll be using that today to do our sketch, which our sketch today is going to be crazy because it's definitely something that's more in depth than what I'm used to. So I just want you guys to know it could be a disaster today. All right. The other thing that we're going to use is we're going to use the Meeden brush set. Oops, that's not a Meeden brush. We're going to use the Meeden brush set, which is right here. This set is a really good professional brush set. Brushes do make a difference, guys. So this will not break the bank though. This set is under $30. And sometimes you can pay that for just one brush. And there is a time and place for that, but this is not that time and place. These are rust free, so they will not rust on the ferrule. They're super tight. They're short, so you can control your strokes really easily. And they hold a ton of water, so they hold their shapes really well. And they are designed to reduce hand fatigue. So this ergonomic handle right here keeps your hand from getting super tired if you're painting for hours on end like I do. So I love this set. If you're looking for a good professional set that won't break the bank, this is a great set for you. Okay, so we'll be using that. We're also going to be using the Golden Maple Detail Brush set. We will probably use this quite a bit today because we've got a lot of detail in the mouse. So, we'll probably use that quite a bit. But this has got 20 different detail brushes. You get your round brushes, you get your liners, you get your flat brushes, and you even get a fan brush as well. Now, this stays sold out most of the time, but it is in stock right now. So if you guys want to grab one, now's the time to do that. It is on flash sale. Normally, it is $49.98, and it is on for $29.99. So they will probably sell out pretty quickly. So go ahead and grab that if you're looking for a good detail brush set. Okay, so there's that. Then we are going to use the Meeden 96 color art palette. This palette is an amazing palette. It has 48 of your primary and secondary colors arranged from lightest to darkest to make it easy to shade with. It also has 30 different metallics. It has 12 macaroons and it has 6 neons. It has this detachable mixing palette, which I love because I can put it to the side and use it as I need to. And these pop out, which is also great because I pull those out and pull them over to where I'm working, and then I put them back. So I love that. It comes with a brush, a pencil, an eraser, 2 art sponges, and obviously your palette right here. Okay. There's also a 48 color set that is just as equally good. I love my 48 color set. I used it for over a year and a half, and you can see it's a hot mess because I used it over and over and over. It still has plenty of paint in it. I love it. The only reason I upgraded was because I wanted some more metallics for highlighting purposes. So you cannot go wrong, though, with either one of these sets. They are amazing, both for professionals and beginners. These were my beginner sets, and I consider myself still a beginner because, well, I've only been painting for about 2 years, and we still get complete hot messes all the time with our paintings. So just know that this set is perfect for either one. Okay. All right. The other thing that we're going to use are the Grabby multi-liner pens, which are right here. Let me find them. And the Grabby multi-liners are very much similar to the Microns. They're waterproof. They will not smudge or smear if you put water on them. They come in all different sizes. You get 20 different pens in different sizes. You get your blacks, and you also get your primary colors as well. So you get different colors of the 05s. So that is the set of pens that we're going to be using today. And we will probably use, honestly, we'll probably just use the 03 and the 003 and the 005 and the 01. But we might use some other ones. Who knows? So we'll be using that. And then the other thing today that we're going to be using is colored pencils. There are 2 options on colored pencils. You can use the 72 color set of the So Color, which I might use some of those like I did yesterday. And then also there's a 240 color set from Color. It's a little bit more pricey, but I can tell you that once you learn to do colored pencils, you're going to want more color options. And because it's going to make your blending much, much easier. Hi, Jamie. How are you this morning? Welcome in. Thank you for the heart me. Shelly Annie, thank you for reposting. Cynthia, how are you? I hope that you guys are going to sit and paint with me this morning. Beppy, thank you for the follow. I'm following you back. And let's see, Rhonda, thanks for the live. Sorry, I'm just catching up. Hey, Angel, how's it going? Okay, so that's everything that we're going to use today, plus or minus a few little things that as we come across them, I'll explain them to you. But here's the point. The point is to grab some watercolors, grab some paper, and grab a brush and a pencil. That's basically, those are the basics. That's all you're going to need for the basics, okay? So if you want to learn to do watercolor, you want to learn to draw, then this is the place to be. And I want you to get out your materials and do that now. And don't be scared, because I'm going to show you step by step. And also, it is a skill set. You're going to learn it and you're going to get better at it. It's not something that you have to be born with. You can learn to draw. You can learn to paint with watercolors. I mean, you may not ever be a museum quality artist, but I promise you, you can do it. And I'm going to show you how. Okay. All right. Let's see. Shelly Ann, thank you. Annie, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that. Okay. I should, Jamie, you're right. I need to do gouache once a week. We did gouache last week, so maybe this week I'll find another painting that I want to do with the gouache. I have been playing around with it. But I just haven't, I just really like watercolors. I don't know. I'm sure I'll love it as much if I get around to it, you know, if I start playing with it more and more. So thank you, Babs, for the heart me. I appreciate it so much. Okay, so today we are doing this little cutie right here. I went ahead and printed him on my printer, my little Bluetooth printer, because that way I won't have to pull y'all off of the overhead, holder, phone holder, if you need to look at him again. It is like watercolor. Yes, Babs. I mean, we did this one in gouache, and I love him. I don't know. I think it's I love the translucency of watercolor though, too. And so getting used to that opaqueness of the gouache is going to take me some time. And it's not that I don't love it, because I really do. And it's much more vibrant, and I love the vibrancy of it. And when I want to paint something that's super, super vibrant, the gouache paint is that's what I go to. You know, I've reached for it several times trying to get some more vibrant colors in some of my art. And so I really do like it. It's just that I've got to play around with it more. So yay, you're going to do it along with me. I'm so excited. Okay, well, we're going to get started. So let me get my tripod set up for you guys so y'all can get your overhead view. So let me just get that done real fast. Hang on, it's stuck in here. Okay. So give me just a second to get that set up, guys. Okay. I was using it yesterday for something else, so I had to readjust the... Oh, well, let me go ahead and give you the screenshot. Here is the screenshot. If you guys want to take a screenshot, sorry about the lines. It's on my iPad today, so the lines are going through my iPad for some... And they're not on my end, but when I show the video, it is. But go ahead and take a... Hey, Golden Girl. Go ahead and take your screenshots, because this is what we're going to be painting today. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going up on the overhead. And we are going to get going on this. Y'all let me know if I cover up my microphone, because that does happen. All right, y'all let me know if the sound is okay. And we will... Oh. All right, how's that look for everybody? Are we good? Y'all let me know if you can hear me and if you can see, because that is what I want you guys to... I want you to be sure you let me know if there's an issue before we start. All right, perfect. Good job. Okay, yes and yes. Okay, so this is what we're working on. Let me make sure I have my lines marked so I know where I'm in screen. I'm going to go ahead and mark that so I know not to get out of that range there. Let me see. And y'all can see all the way over to here. And about right there. Okay. I just have to give myself marks because I can't see my screen once I put y'all overhead. I can see you on my desktop, but with anything pinned, it kind of covers it up because it's a small image. So we are using the Mead and paper today, guys. So if you guys are wondering the paper that we're using, we are using the Mead 5x7 size cut down to a 2.5 by 3.5. It's the cold press. And it is 100% cotton. 5x7. It comes in 20 sheets. It's 300 GSM, and you can get 4 of the 2.5 by 3.5 inch ACEO sizes out of this one paper. So it's a great deal when you get 20 sheets if you're doing this size, because you get 80 of this size out of this whole pack of paper. So it's a really good deal, and it's excellent paper. So all right, so let's get going on our drawing first. All right, so we're going to start with our Nick Pro drawing set. I'm going to be using the 0.5, and I'm going to be using an HB. I wish they had a 2H in this, in the 0.5 set. I really do, but they don't. They have the 2B and they have the HB. So I'm going to use the HB. And we're going to get going. All right. So I'm going to use the HB in this. And let me just make sure I'm in my lines here so you guys can see what we're doing. Make sure your tape is down. And we're going to get started on, we're going to start with the, sorry, I'm going to pull this over where I can see it a little bit better. We're going to start with the, I don't know if I need to start with the mouse or the cup. I think I'm going to start with the cup. So let's go ahead and give ourselves kind of a guide of where our ground is going to be. Okay, so this part right here. Okay, just so we kind of have a starting place. So I'm going to give my ground that space, okay? And then we're going to draw the cup from there. So our cup is going to be basically a rounded triangle. So go ahead and do your first side here. And then your second side, bring it around here. Okay, so we have the first part of our cup. Now, I am going to tell you this. I am notorious when I do cups and when I do coffee mugs and things like that. I always get, it's so hard for me to get the sides to be symmetrical on those. So you will catch me erasing quite a bit when I'm trying to do teacups, because you want your sides to be fairly symmetrical. And that is hard to do, y'all. All right, that's pretty close. Okay. So we have our, go ahead and bring your bottom down just slightly below the ground. Okay. And we're going to give it kind of a bit of a, like a little lip like that on the bottom. Okay. So it's got kind of a lip. All right. Now, our handle is basically just going to be like the half, like almost a teardrop. Okay, so you're going to do the inside first, so make it smaller. And you're going to go, and you're going to do just like a teardrop, except you're not going to bring it completely together. And then on the outside, you're going to do that very same thing and bring it down to the bottom. Like that. Okay, so you've got a teardrop inside of a teardrop. Okay, do you have a shading tutorial for colored pencils on your page. I do not, Angel, but thank you for asking for that. If you guys are looking for something like that, I will do that for you guys. I will try to get one done in the next couple of days and get it up for you. Let me write it down though so I don't forget, because and guys, that kind of stuff is stuff I don't know. Like most of my content is shoppable content, and that's because this is how I make my living at this point. Because I've retired, and so this is my side hustle. So I have a lot of shoppable content, but I like to throw stuff like that in if you guys want it, but I don't always know what you want. So, so that's a good one. So we'll do, colored pencil shading. I'll do a little, tutorial for you guys on that. Kind of like I did with the, like this is, like this one. Are you talking about kind of like that one, Angel, to show you how to do that ombre shading? I can shade like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. And you want me to do it with the 240 set, or do you want me to do it with the 72 set? Because I know there is a difference. You're right. And when you say you can shade like the 72 set, but you can't like the 240, like, do you want me to use the 72 set and show you how to shade like the 240 set? Because I can semi do that with the minimum amount of colors that you get in the 72. You use Crayola. Okay, got it. Got it. I think I have some Crayola colored pencils, so I might be able to do it with those. I think I have some in my grandson's stuff. So, okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do like a shallow smiley face to connect these two. So it doesn't need to be too dippy, but we want it to be kind of like a shallow smile, okay? And then we're going to do kind of a shallow upside down smiley face or frowny face here for the top, okay? And we'll do the inside of that in a minute. We're going to go ahead and get the mouth started first. And in order to do that, we're going to need to basically erase the whole center of our smiley face to get his feet set up. So go ahead and erase the center so that we can get his feet in there, okay? So his feet are going to start, they're kind of like right, let's just make the center so we know right where we want to put his feet. So go ahead and add that center back in. So now we know where we want his feet and his hands, okay? So his hands are going to come like right here at the edges. We're going to do just like some little fingers like this right there, okay? And that's going to bring his hand, start his hand creating. All right, so you've got your little, just a little, you know, squigglies there for his fingers. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to do his little hand, and we're going to do his fingers. Now, they don't have to be exact. They just, because, you know, both the hands aren't going to be sitting on the cup exactly the same. So don't worry if they're not symmetrical, but just get them in place. All right. So now we're going to do that same little teardrop thing that we did with the handle to the coffee cup, except we're going to do it and we're going to bring it around and make it like an infinity symbol. Okay. Except we're not going to put the center in. So that's how we're going to do his feet. All right. So his feet are going to start, they're going to connect like right up next to the hands. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to do it over here first. So we're going to go, because an infinity symbol looks like this. Let me just show you guys so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. If I were to do this, okay, only you're going to do the top bigger. And instead of crossing that line through, go ahead and skip it and make the bottom smaller. And instead of crossing back over, you're just going to connect these two. And that's going to make the feet. Okay? Hopefully that made sense. I understand that, Angel. The more colors you have it. Well, it does. It can get overwhelming as a beginner for sure. Yeah, like a chicken drumstick. That's right. Chicken drumstick. Okay. So I'm gonna go up like this and down and skip and connect. Yeah, it looks like a little chicken drumstick. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing right here. We're going to go up and not cross over. I'm going to skip that spot and connect like that. Okay. Again, the feet don't have to be symmetrical because they're not going to be sitting exactly the same. So it's okay. And we'll do, we'll erase the very, very tips of the feet now, and we'll put the toes in. Okay. So go ahead and erase those feet. This needs to be a little bit bigger. Hang on, let me fix that. Okay, so, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna basically make little circles for the toes. Okay, so we get 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles, 4 circles, 5 circles for the feet, okay? And then we've got the cup edge, and then we have his arm that's going to come up, okay? So his arm, so now we're going to have to erase the back side of the cup so we can fit his body in. Okay, so we just have the sides of the cup here. Okay, and we're going to bring that arm all the way up like this and connect it to the hand. And over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring that arm up and connect it to the hand. Okay. How are we doing so far? Yes, mouse in a teacup. Here's what we're doing, Tina K. Right here, mouse in a teacup. I printed it on my little sticker print, my photo printer. All right, let's see. Okay, Bab says she's doing good. Hopefully everybody else is doing well. All right, so now it's time. Let's go ahead and add in the belly. And that's just going to be kind of an oval like this. And just, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just kind of want an outline of it so we can see. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just kind of want an outline of it so we can see. And, you know, so we kind of know where it's at. So we can bring the chin of the mouse right here in the center, okay? So we can get his head on where we want it. Okay, so that's his little chin right there at the top of the belly. Okay. All right. Now, you guys, this is stressing me out. Okay. Now we're going to do his little cheeks and nose area. All right. So we're going to do, we're going to have to bring, it's kind of like a wide heart. Okay. So we're going to bring it out and around, and then bring this one out and around like that. Okay. And then we're going to do a little frowny face at the top. Okay. And let me get this even. Okay. So that's the little nose and mouth area. Okay. Now we're going to do his head. We're just finishing that out like this. We're just making a circle all the way around. Okay. That's his little head. And now right here, we will attach the ears, big circle ears. I want his ears to be big. And then right here, another big circle ear. Okay. Now, I know he looks like weird right now, but that's because we don't have any hair or any fuzz or any details or anything right now. We want to make sure that we understand and trust the process. We're going to draw his little tail. You can do that however you want. I'm going to make mine come around like this and up. Okay, so that's his little tail. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and put the nose in here. So let's do a circle right here. And let's do a mouth. It's like an upside down M with an open mouth there. Okay, and then we're going to do the eyes, which are going to be right here and here. Okay, so he looks like a mouse with no hair. He looks like a hairless mouth. Oh no, you're so good. You should see that. It's okay, Charlene. I promise you, trust the process. It's going to look like, yeah, it looks like Mickey, doesn't it? It's not going to be Mickey though. It's going to be this cute little mouse that we've got. All right, let's go ahead and do our little heart right here. And we'll do the hearts in front right here as well. So I'm going to erase this corner. And we'll go ahead and put in our heart. And then, let me see how I want to do this. I'll go over the top. We'll go here and here. Okay. All right, the other thing we have to do is finish off the rim of our cup like this. Okay. And then we can even put a few hearts up here. And maybe a heart here. Like that. Okay. I'll probably change those. I don't necessarily like those, but for now, we're going to keep it like that. Okay. So we need the insides of the ears. So let's go ahead and do that. Go around like this and around like this. Okay. All right. Whew, that was stressing me out, y'all. Okay. All right, how are we doing? That's our drawing. That's our base. Let's go ahead and get our kneaded eraser, which mine is right here. And let's make this lighter. Does anybody have any questions on the drawing that we just did before we move on to start putting color on? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. All right, so we're just making him a little bit lighter so that everything's not kind of overwhelming on our drawing when we start putting our color down. All right. Good, we're ready. Are you guys ready? Let me have some thumbs up so I know everybody's kind of finished with their drawing. If you're not, I'll wait. I just want to make sure that we're all on track. I don't want to go too fast for you guys. Okay, good. We're good. All right, Babs is ready. Kinder Kelly's good. All right, we're ready to move on. Let me grab a sip of my coffee. And let's move on. Now, we're going to try something different today. And the reason that we're going to do that is because I want to try to blend these colors out a little bit more than normal, so that the areas of the ears and face and stuff kind of blend in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take my 003 pen multi-liner, and I'm going to give it some hair, okay? Because I want the hair to be in there so that I know what I'm doing when I put in the color, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just add this hair around his little ears. And you can see how teeny tiny this multi-liner is. And that's why I love this set, because it gives me the ability to do this thin hair. Okay. So that you guys can see kind of, and we're going to bring it down. I'm going to start right here. Okay, and I know he's looking crazy. That's okay. Don't worry. Promise it's going to be okay. Especially once we start getting this all blended out with color. Okay. So go ahead and just add whatever hair you want on him. Just keep in mind that you want to follow the contour of the drawing. So the hair is going to follow that contour as you go. So as I turn and follow the ear, it's going to, I'm going to pull from the line, the drawn line. That's where I'm going to get my hair coming from. So it's going to come out from the line that you initially drew. Okay. So you see how he's getting fuzzy? That's what we're looking for. Okay. Same thing on these insides of his ears. You're just going to do small wispies going towards the inside. And follow the contours again. Okay. And then from his cheeks, same thing. You're going to do little wispies and follow those cheek contours. And you can do big, fluffy ones right around the edges. And then these smaller ones around the ear parts. And you can even do little strays if you want to make it more kind of whimsical. Okay, so we have this fuzz. Now he looks a little weird But I promise you he's not going to once we get the color on. Okay. We want to bring some up here. Also, just remember this is not going to be so pronounced once you get your color on. So and this is backwards from what we normally do. And the reason I'm doing this backwards is because I want you guys to see, I want us to blend our colors a little bit better into the areas to make it kind of come together instead of feeling so like compartmentalized. I don't know if that even makes sense for you guys, but you'll see when we do the process. Okay, so don't give up on me, guys. We're gonna make this happen. All right. Okay, now we're gonna do right around his mouth, and then we will go and put some color in his face so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So y'all don't lose faith in me, because I'm telling you this is gonna be super cute. Okay, so now we have his hair kind of everywhere, all over. Let me just make sure I've got a few extra wispies. I'm gonna make one come way up. Okay, like that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with our color. I'm gonna pull out first the ochre and the burnt or raw umber. Okay. Oh, you got the 96 color. Yay. And the postcards. You're going to love those postcards. We did those at Christmas, Golden Girl. We did a whole set of them. Like a human version of AI images. At least what people think they are. Yeah, right? Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take our Meeden #1 brush. We're going to get some water. We're going to take the ochre color. Okay. Golden Girl, thank you for that purchase. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting my showcase. And you're going to love those paints so much. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start right here in the middle and right along his little nose. And we're going to just take that and put that brown in. Okay, so we're going to outline kind of where that mouth and nose area started. Put lots of water in there and bring it up into his head. Okay, remember his head was round, so give him that round little look. Okay. Now, I want you to get some clear water, and I want you to just put some clear water right across the top here. Hang on, let me get my paper towel. that was not what I wanted. That was not clear. Okay, and you're going to let that water work its way up on its own into the hair. So it's not perfectly round at the top of his head. And it's not perfectly round going into the ears. Okay? It's kind of blended among the hair. Okay? Same thing up here. You're going to take and you're going to put some more color in there because I need that to be a little bit darker. Okay. So it's kind of going up into the hair. So you can even give it little, you can take your detail brush and you can give it little brown wispies of that same color. I'm going to use the 18 and I'm going to get some of this. I'm going to do that same thing. I'm just going to kind of bring some of those wispies up that we've got in the hair like this. Okay, so now we have that kind of blended look into the hair. Okay. So it doesn't look so flat across the top of his head. Okay. Now, make sure it's wet. And then go ahead and add some of your darker raw umber shading in around the edges of the ears where it's going to kind of connect and let it kind of spread. It's going to kind of go up into his hair and around the edges of his ears here. Okay, so we have these darker shadows. Around the areas we want to be darker. Okay. And then again, you can bring those wispies in with that color as well. Okay, so do you see what I'm going for? I don't know. Okay, so he's kind of like blended more. Now we're going to do that same thing with the outsides of his ears. We're going to go and put some water in there and spread that brown, the ochre, in the outsides of his ears. And then do that same thing with your detail brush. Add your wispies around his ears. Like that. Okay. And then add your darker. Shading right at the base of his ears. Right here. And right here. Okay. And then take your detail. Whoops, sorry. We're switching brushes a lot here, guys. Take your detail and go ahead and add those wispies as well, coming off so it blends. Okay. Now, this is where the magic is going to happen, guys. Okay. I want you to pay attention to this because this is going to be fun. And it may turn out to be a disaster, but we're about to try it. I always doubt myself, y'all. Okay, so we're going to do our water inside the ear. Okay, we're going to reach for the pink. We're going to put the pink in the ear. We're going to spread that pink. Sorry, guys, I put too much water. Let me get that pink again. Spread that pink inside the ear. And because the rest of the ear is wet, it's going to blend in with the browns. And it's going to make it a blended, it's going to give it this blended look. Okay. Now, we are going to continue with those darker, shadowy wispies until it looks the way that you feel is what you're looking for. You can pull those dark wispies out from the base of the ear, and that will darken up those shadows that we want. Okay, so you see how that ear came out? I know it looks like a hot mess right now, but I promise you it's going to be really cool. Okay, now let's do the other ear with the same technique. We're going to take the, because I wanted his head to be really fluffy looking. So that is why I'm doing it this way instead of doing the color first. That's why we did the hair before we did the color. Okay. All right, and then let's put the darker in at the base of the ear. Take the detail brush. Hair in the way, yep. Oh, my hair's in the way, sorry. My bad. Okay, and do your darker wispies. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to have my head in the way. Okay. All right, now we're going to do the water in the middle of the ear. And we're going to add that pink. So that it blends into that brown, okay? So see how we managed to get that to blend? Now I'm going to dry it. And I'm going to go ahead with the, let's see, let's do the 05 black. Okay, and we're going to do our ears. I mean our eyes. So we're going to go up with our eyes here, up with our eye here, and then you can put white. You can use white paint. You can use a gel pen. You can, whatever white highlighter you want to use. Hang on, I got to get my gel pen going. Why is my pen not wanting to write? Hang on. There we go. See, this is why I hate these gel pens. Okay, hang on. We're going to fix that. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to use this instead. I'm going to use some gesso and my detail brush. I don't feel like pulling out my ZSCM pen, so that's why. Otherwise, that one would work. But all right, we're going to use white. What is going on, y'all? Why is my stuff not wanting to work for me today? There we go. All right, we got that one. Let me dry off this one. Go back over it. And let's do, you know what? I'm going to do them both. All right, let's try again. Oh, super frustrating. I wish they would make a miraculously come out with some sort of amazing pen that does white. Reese, this is an 18/0 from Golden Maple. Let me pull that up. It's my Golden Maple set right here. All right. There and there. Why does that side not want to work, you guys? So frustrating. All right. I am seriously starting to get incredibly frustrated. Hang on. I'm going to do it one more time. One right there. There we go. And one right there. There we go. Okay. Good grief. Something that should have taken me 2 seconds to do. Dr. Martin Bleed Proof White. It's in a small jar. Quite a bit works. Fantastic. Okay, good. Good to know, Jamie. Thank you very much. I probably have some of that if I had to guess. Because I have a whole set of Dr. Martin inks somewhere. I'm going to find it, though, because I know I have them. I'm just not sure where they're at. Okay. Yeah, I know. Go ahead and laugh, golden girl, because I'm super, you're going to find out when you try to do this. Okay, let's see. I'm just teasing. Y'all can laugh at me all you want, I promise. Okay, let's see. We're going to move on to his little face now, okay? Now, to do his face, we're going to have to pull out our white and our gray. And we're going to mix that like we do always with our white. Hey, Stacy Lee. Are you at the doctor or are you on your way to the doctor? Let me see. So we're going to get some white. And we are going to mix that white with a little bit of gray. Not a lot. Just enough to make it not white, not the same color as the paper. Okay? And we're going to go over his entire little cheek. This is where the gouache paints would be nice because the white on gouache is a true white and it doesn't cause like you could tell, you know what I mean? Like it would be white and you could tell it was white and not the color of the paper. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of ochre and I'm gonna try to blend out these cheeks a little bit so it kind of matches and blends into the rest of the upper part of the face. Take some of the raw umber as well. Do the same thing right along here. Just let it kind of blend and come down. Okay, so we have just enough of that blend to make them look connected, but not overwhelmed. Okay. All right. Let me pull my picture up again. Okay. Good. All right. Now we're going to do the little nose. We're going to make his little nose pink. Let me dry him. He's starting to come together. He's not great, but I told y'all this might end up being a hot mess, and if it is, well, it just is. because this was a challenge for me today. And that's okay. Challenges are good because we're going to learn. We're going to use the light pink first. And I'm going to do his little nose in the light pink. I'm going to use my detail brush. Okay, sorry, my head was in the way, wasn't it? Now we're going to do the dark. Ooh, too much. Just pick some of that up. Okay. All right. And now we're going to take the 005. Where are we? No, I'm going to do the 01 for his mouth. Okay, and we're going to go and cover his mouth in. Okay, now we're going to do kind of a little connection with the nose. And I'm going to go back to my 003. And we're going to go around his nose and kind of make that blended. Okay. And then we can put in the whiskers in just a second. We're going to do the same thing with the mouth. Okay. We're going to just kind of give the mouth some extra little wispies and fuzzies. And we're going to do that right along the chin as well. Okay, so we're switching back and forth to a lot of different mediums to make this happen and look natural and fuzzy and all the things. But that's what makes it look more full and blended and natural. Okay. And by natural, I mean he's a mouse in a coffee cup. It's not like he's going to be realistic. All right. Let's give him some pink cheeks. So we're going to take our brush and wipe off my gesso that I got on it. Take some clear water and make his cheeks damp. Take your pink, light pink. Just dab it on his cheeks where you want it to go. Wipe your brush off and spread that pink around. So there's just enough pink to make him look like he's blushing, but not so much that it overpowers his face. Okay, so there we are so far. Okay, I told y'all this was going to be hard. Yes, we are using this right here, Stacy Lee. This is the mouse that we're going for. Okay. All right. Okay, so now let's do his body. So when we do his body, we're going to do, his body's got a lot of hair on it. And it's mostly dark, except for the center chest area, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our ochre color and we're going to just paint his body area around his feet. Just don't get it into his feet. Okay. And if you need to, use a detail brush. Just make sure it stays wet because we're going to do some blending with the darker colors. Okay, so now we're going to take our detail brush and we're going to get some of that dark raw umber. And we're going to just touch it right at the chest area where we want it to be much, much darker. Matter of fact, I'm going to go even with this darker burnt umber, this really dark brown right here in this area. And just kind of drag it down into the rest of his body. Okay. And then we're going to take that white that we made a while ago, which really isn't white, the sort of white, grayish white, and we're going to put that in the chest area, around the feet. While the brown is still wet, okay, so that it can blend. And then we're going to just kind of let that blend together. Okay, so his chest is, there's not really an identifying line that starts the white part of his chest. Okay, you see how that kind of blends? All right, then we're going to draw that. We did draw this. It was very difficult, and it is continuing to still be difficult. But that's okay. We're going to fix it. We're going to get it all. It's going to be cute when we get done. I've refused to not trust the process. So even if it is a hot mess right now, it's going to be super cute when we get done. Okay. All right. Let's see. You know what we didn't do is a background on this, you guys, but that's all right. We can't do that now. It's too late. So we're just going to deal with it. Okay. His feet. Let's do his feet. We're going to do, pink on his feet, and we're going to do dark around the edges. So, I'm going to use my detail brush. Let's do some water in his feet. Stacy Lee, this is the photo that we're using right here, this little mouse. Hopefully you can see that. Here. Right there. That's what we're doing. All right. Whoops. Okay. We are going to now put some water in his feet. Make his little toes and feet. Okay, and we're going to do the very light pink. So his feet are super light. And then we're going to take the dark pink and we're going to bring that into the edges of his feet. All the way around. So you just have the light color now in the middle of his feet. Okay, same thing here. We're going to do the water, clear water in his feet. We're going to do the light pink first. And then we're going to take the dark pink And we're going to go around his feet and the edges. So he's got that two-tone look to his feet. Okay. All right. Feel like, let's draw his feet and see what they look like. Thank you, Davila, for life. All right, now we are going to need to put, hang on, first we're gonna have to draw this cup edge right here. I messed that up, but that's okay, we can fix that. All right, let's do, his hair. Let's get his hair on his body. Use the 003 again and get his hair kind of lined out. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of give his chest some hair right here to kind of break that up. We're going to give his chin a little more right here. We're going to give his body hair like this. And this is really coming down off of his chin here. So I'm going to do some cross hatching right here with my shading. Why is my pen not? There we go. I'm trying to go too fast with this little bitty tip. Okay. And we're just making his fingers just fuzzy. So you're not going to really be able to see a lot. Now, we're going to go around his toes because I want us to be able to identify the feet. But it doesn't mean that he's not hairy around there. So we're still going to get hair on those. Okay. And then same thing here. We're going to cross hatch right here. And we're going to bring some hair off of his hands. And identify his little toes. Feet. Okay. So we have the fuzzy. We got the fuzzy fuzzies going. I'm going to bring more off of the sides here. Right here. So that he's equally fuzzy. All right, now we're going to do his whiskers. So let me close this up. And let's use the 01 for the whiskers, because we want those to kind of stand out. So we're going to go out, 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 out. Okay, so now we got our whiskers on there. And we need to put a few fuzzies going into the chest area from the cup and around. Okay. All right, so now we have our little fuzzy butt. Now we're going to take the detail brush and we're going to, I know this has been a little bit more chaotic today, guys. I apologize for that. Normally I'm much better at going through these steps, but I knew this was going to be a difficult one when I picked it, but I really wanted to try it. So hopefully you guys are hanging in there. We're going to bring a little bit of that brown out and make those fuzzies coming off of him. Give him some brown fuzzies. Off of his feet too. And don't give up, guys. If he's looking like a mess and he's looking crazy, that's okay. We can make it happen, okay? Just keep going, all right? That's the point. And if you don't like it when you're done, somebody else is going to love it. Just remember that too. Secondly, try again, okay? And learn from what you learned this time. Or use what you learned this time into the next one. And that's definitely something that I'll be taking into consideration. I really thought, guys, my thought process was that if we did the hair first, we could blend this out better. And that did work, and it did work much better. However, it was hard to get the shading inside around the eyes exactly right. Without being able to see the whole circle. So that's where I feel like my mistake was. But also, I think he looks cute. So there's that. Okay. We'll see when we're done. We just have to trust the process, okay? Now we are going to, let's see, take some of the darker brown, okay? Get that dark brown now, that raw umber, and add a few of those wispies as well. Not a ton, but enough. I do feel like having that hair to guide me, though, was helpful. I just have to figure out how to work with it. Thank you, Kinder Kelly. You're kind. I told you, sometimes things are a hot mess, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. It's just art. I mean, all I can do, all we do is just do another one and try again the next time, right? Okay. Let's put our detail brush up, pull out your bead number 1, and we are going to, let me put that up there. These are the brushes we're using now. We're going to do the bead number 1. Here's how we're going to do this. We're going to do a wet on wet technique for the whole cup. Okay. So go ahead and get yourself some clear water and wet the cup. Don't worry about the hair around him, because remember, most of that is that waterproof pen, so you're not going to have to deal with it. If you get a little bit of brown in it, don't worry, the pink will cover it up. So all right, so do your whole cup, make sure it's damp so that we can put the light pink in the middle right here. We're going to put the dark pink on the edge over here. Okay, so just get the light pink in first. I'm going to leave this area right here kind of white for the highlight. Okay, so it's not going to be very dark. Now I'm going to get the dark pink and I'm going to go right along the edge and let that kind of spread. Add more water if it's not spreading for you. Okay. Also, right down here at the bottom, you want this to be dark as well. Okay. Rinse your brush really good. Make sure it's clean and go ahead and spread that right through here where we left it white. So we have that lighter area. And then go right along this edge with just a teeny tiny bit of that dark. Rinse your brush and make sure it's blended. So we have that highlighted area. Still want this to be darker. Okay. So it kind of lightens up as it goes across the cup. Okay. I love that. That looks really pretty. Okay. Same thing with the handle. Okay, go ahead and put your water in the handle. Use the light pink first. Leave an extra light area right here. Thank you, the Life of Christ. Okay. All right, now I'll use the dark. Ooh, a little bit too much. We don't want it to blend too much into that cup. But we do want it to go up into the handle like that. That's exactly what we want it to do. Same thing over here. We want it to go up into the handle and blend. And then right here, we want that to be a highlighted area. If you want to make a highlighted area, add water to it and then dry your brush and pick it up, and it takes that color away. Okay. All right. So we have the cup done. We're going to do the tail the same way because his little tail, and then we'll put the little details in his tail. So go ahead and give his tail some water. Okay. And give it a little bit of the light pink on both ends. And leave the little curve open. Get some clear water, blend so that that tail kind of ombres into that lighter pink color. And then add your dark pink right at the edge and at the tip. Okay, just like that. So you have that blended tail. Okay, All right, now let's go ahead and get out our, I'm going to do the 005. Where are you? 005. And we're going to get our details in our cup, and then we will move on. You know what? Let me make sure this is dry. That's okay, Jamie. The replay will be up. Don't worry. I'll always post the replay. All of my replays are currently up. So if you have missed any of the tutorials that I've done and you're wanting the replays, then just know that they are up. Okay. So sketch the edge of the cup out loosely. Okay. And then let's give it some shading with our pen. Our bottom little rim. Do a little bit of cross hatching here around the hearts. And go ahead and sketch those hearts out because this is a waterproof pen. So when we do those, it won't be a problem. That way we can do the shading around them. Just cross hatch that. And then over here, and we're going to give this kind of a rim as well. Kind of like we did over here. And then give it some character coming out from the edges. And then over here as well. I kind of go along the curve there. Okay, same thing with the rim or the handle. We're going to sketch loosely along the handle. Like that. And then we're going to give it some crosshatch shading. And some motion lines. Okay. All right. How are we doing so far? That cup is looking good. What do y'all think so far? So cute, but my sleeve pebbles as a tribute. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That's the cutest mouse I've ever seen. Dar, thank you so much. Show and Tell Creations, thank you so much. Leslie, thank you so much. Golden Girl, thank you. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious, Sherry. That actually is my neighbor's dog. My dog is in the house, but that was my neighbor's dog barking. But yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we have this neighborhood pack of dogs that they just run around the neighborhood, and they are kind of like several people's dogs in the neighborhood. Like one of the dogs is one person's and another dog is another person's, but they hang together in this pack and they just run the neighborhood. My dog stays in the house, has a doggy door to go out to go to the bathroom, but he doesn't really hang with the pack like the rest of them do, probably because we've only had him for a couple months because he's new. Babs, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, no, mouse droppings are not cute in the cupboard. They are definitely not the life of Christ. So anyway, I'm hoping that he will make friends with the pack, just because they tend to like kind of get into little tiffs when they're out in the yard sometimes, because they're not used to my pickles just yet. So, all right, I'm going to outline the rest of the cup, and we are going to get that finished. Okay, so now the inside of the cup is going to be the dark pink. I'm just going to go straight in with that dark pink. We don't need to shade it. We're going to go straight in with this dark pink. Same thing here. Go in with the dark. And then the rim around it is going to be that white that we did right here. Which is the white and the gray kind of mixture together. So we're going to go around the edge with that. And then I'm going to add in my details. So, you know, while we're sitting here, and I just want to, you know, I've been thinking about like doing these tutorials every day and how I get on here. You know, right before I get on here, I always do my quiet time with God. And this morning, he was telling me about keeping my eyes focused on heavenly things, because I was kind of stressing over some stuff that's going on, you know, earthly things that are going on, some financial stuff and some other stuff that, you know, we're dealing with. And so let's go ahead and put some detail on the tail too. So I was, you know, kind of talking to God about like my worries and all of the things. And he said to me, he said, you think in terms of your life here on earth. And what I want you to think about is what it's going to be like when you step into the gates of heaven and you stand before me and I look at you and I say to you, well done, my good and faithful servant. And how, you know, you need to remember that everything you do on a daily basis, when you start to worry, think about how it is going to affect that moment, that one moment that that your whole life is geared around, that one moment of stepping through the gates of heaven and Jesus looking me in the face and saying that to me. You know, is this moment that I'm worried about, is what I'm worried about and how I react to that going to be affected by, is it going to be affected by what the action that I'm taking right now? Because I was really frustrated and I was considering some things, and I was, talking to God about how I just get frustrated with the way things are sometimes. And I mean, obviously we all do, right? And so he said to me, you know, think about like every time I start to begin to worry or I start to get frustrated, think about if I were to leave earth right now and walk through the gates of heaven and face my God and face Jesus, how would that affect that moment? And when he said that to me, and I know it sounds strange, like me saying, you know, I talk to God. Well, I do. You know, I believe that God speaks to us through our heart, not our head. And if you listen from your heart, you can hear his voice. I do believe that. And you can disagree with me if you want, but that's just that's my personal relationship. But anyway, I want you guys to know that when he said that to me, I thought that changes everything about every single situation that we ever will face. I'm putting some darker in the base of this light pink, just to give that heart a highlight. It changes everything. And the reason is because if somebody were to tell me tomorrow's your last day on earth, I would do a lot of things differently today and tomorrow, right? And so he said, don't think, is it your last day on earth? Just think, how is this moment going to affect the moment that I do leave this earth and walk through those gates? And that has changed everything about the way I look at my day and about how I view certain situations and things people say to me and all of the things. And I'm not even sure why I brought this up, but I felt like God just basically said, you should share that. So I don't know who this is for, but it is definitely for somebody on here that is watching right now. And so if you're struggling with something that is frustrating you, or you're worried about something, and you feel like, you know, it's just not being taken care of, or if you feel like you don't know the answer, know right now that God has you wrapped in his arms. He has you. He knows what your problem is. He's well aware of how you feel, and how you feel is valid. And he loves you, and you're allowed to express your feelings in honesty with him. And that when you step through those gates, is this moment going to matter in that moment? And if it is, then talk to God about it. And if it isn't, let it go and give it to God. Because I feel like sometimes we make mountains out of molehills. And I want very deeply to be able to let go of the things that God wants me to let go of. So I hope that with you guys, if you're dealing with something like that, hopefully that message hits you the way that it's meant, you know, out of love, because everything that I do hopefully is out of love, and that you know that God loves you and cares about you. We're going to put in a base right here now. I'm using the 005, and I'm just drawing in my ground now. We're just going to kind of thin it out as we move forward. So anyway, I'm not sure why God wanted me to share that with you guys, but let's see. Oh, hang on. I missed a lot of comments. Sorry, guys. I wasn't paying attention. Does change your perspective. Thanks, Babs. Zechariah 6, the life of Christ. So good. The truth. Yes, for sure. You are right. We don't always know, but do what you hear him say. Yep. I worry about my son. My oldest son talks about suicide a lot. I'm afraid to lose him. Yeah, show and tell. That's a scary situation. That is something you definitely have to give to God. Thank you, Carry On Shopping. Depart from me. Yes, nobody wants to hear that. Absolutely. You're so welcome, show and tell. On YouTube. Yes, I will have it up on my tube of you for you guys. And show and tell, I will definitely be praying for a tube of you for you guys. Show and tell, I will definitely be praying for your son. I'm going to put that on my prayer list. I have several people that I've met through live that I've got on my prayer list, and we'll definitely be adding you to that. So thank you, Golden Girl. It is, unfortunately, you know, especially if there are adult children, it is really, it's so hard, but to let that go and let God handle those situations. But really, I mean, it is all we can do. And we have to remember, and this is what I have to do with my daughter too sometimes, and really anybody that I care about deeply, is that God loves them more than we do. And we tend to forget that. You know, we tend to think, oh, you know, nobody loves our children more than we do, right? But the truth is that God loves them more than we do. And we have to remind ourselves of that. because he loves them enough to do what's best. And God is only good. So no matter what happens, it's for our good. Even if it feels like it's not, God only has the capacity for good. And therefore, whatever happens is for our good, because that's all he can do. And I remind myself of that often. So let's see. Yeah, see, mine's 33. So yes, it is so hard not to worry. I feel that so much, show and tell. Okay. All right. So we have that. So now let me do these little hearts that are right up here. I'm going to erase this one because it was kind of in a weird place. So I'm going to erase that one. I am going to add a little bit more hair. I'm going to bring that out some. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to do these two hearts up here, which are going to be these lighter, the lighter pink. And here, I'm going to add that darker pink in. Now, I don't know what's going on, but my son and my daughter and my husband are blowing my phone up. And my phone is on Do Not Disturb, but it's coming through on my computer. Yes, it's a long-haired mouse. Long-haired mouse. I want him to be very fuzzy, fuzzy, fuzzy. All right, let's go ahead and do our, oh, hang on, let me get these done. Let me get the edges of these hearts and just, okay. All right, he's good there. Now, I want to make sure his feet have their little, they're kind of fading into the cup. So I'm going to darken these up a little bit. There we go. That's better. Okay. All right, let's pull out our colored pencils and see what we're going to do to make this thing not look so flat. Yeah, I didn't see anything that was filtered. It is very powerful, Life of Christ. It definitely is. And the truth be told, my word of the year this year is equipped. And I got to tell, I'm going to just tell y'all this story because you guys have been on lives with me long enough. Most of you guys, some of you guys won't and haven't been here, but most of you guys have been on lives with me for long enough to know that I'm deeply in love with Jesus. But I will tell you, I'm going to pull out my colored pencils while I'm telling you guys this story. But 3 years ago, my word of the year was release. And I didn't know what God had in store for me for that. The release part was, for me, I thought, releasing some baggage and trauma from my childhood. However, it turned out that God told me, he said, I'm releasing you from your life. Like you've been praying to get out of the gym. You've been praying for a homestead, to start with your family, all of these things for many years. And so he kind of forced me out of my business that I'd had for 35 years, that I had built from the time I was 17. And I was distraught and freaked out because I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And then he forced me, basically, opened up an opportunity for us to sell our home of 30 years. And then he opened up an opportunity for us to change to a different church. And so it was like all of these things that had identified me as a human, or that I had identified myself as, were now gone out of my life. So by the time that year was over with, I did not have my business. I did not have my house. I did not have my church. And I didn't, and one of my dogs. I mean, like everything. It was a year of releasing my life, my entire identity to Christ. And it was hard, y'all. Now, let me tell you, it was not easy. It was hard, hard, hard. I'm going to go through these colors in just a second. However, the next year, my word of the year was called. And I'll go through, I'll go through this whole process with God to come up with my word of the year, which I shared with you guys on my live a few weeks ago. And I truly was like, what are you calling me to do? Because like, I'm not a minister. I'm not I'm not anything like that. And so I just didn't know what I was being called to do. But what he did for me all year long during 2024 was open up the opportunity for me to build this community that we have here every day. This community of my lives and the people that I've met through TikTok and all of the things, right? And so as he did that, it created this community. So when I sat down and did my word of the year for 2025, he literally said to me in that whole process, he was like, I have now released you from everything that was holding you back from being the person that I want you to be in this stage of your life. Now, don't get me wrong. I was supposed to be that coach and have that business. It was my mission field for many years, working with the children in our community. So that was my purpose for many years. But he was like, I have now released you from the things that are holding you back to be the person that you are supposed to be now. And so I did that. And now I have called you to a new community of people and a new community of a new mission field for you. I have called you to that. And so when I did my word for this year, it was equipped. And he said, literally, it was almost like an audible voice after I went through the whole process, which we went through on my live. He said to me, I do not call the equipped. I equip the called. And so he said to me, the reason that you were called before you were equipped is because I had to prepare you so that I could equip you. So he is equipping me this year. And that is my word this year, is equipped. And I absolutely feel that this little community that we have every morning or in the evening sometimes is truly something that God is equipping me for every single day that I'm on here with you guys. So I want you guys to know that I love, love, love my time that I spend with y'all every day, even though I know it's just us and it's just art, but it's also a community of like-minded women who can talk about our lives and share. And I get private messages from you guys and I can pray with you and do all of those things. And I just am so grateful. So I just want you guys to know that I'm grateful. So we're going to use the 051 Sakura. We're going to use the 010 light pink, and we're going to use the 016 magenta for the pink highlights on this. Hi, Unjudgmental. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Thank you, Show and Tell. Yes, I'm very, very grateful for you guys. Okay, so we're going to start off with the light pink, okay? And we're going to go... we're going to go all the way around the handle. And then we're going to go with the medium pink. And then we're going to go with the dark. And just remember, guys, we're doing 3 layers. We're going with medium, we're going with light pressure, medium pressure, and then heavy pressure. So we're on medium pressure. And now we're on heavy pressure. Heavy pressure. Alexa, play Spotify.
Bible study music from Spotify.
Okay. And then heavy pressure with this dark. And then we're going to blow it off. So see how that makes that handle look less flat when you add that shading in. Sorry, I'm going to turn this down. Okay. So see, it makes the handle actually look round now, and it's because we added that colored pencil shading over that. So we're going to do the same thing with the cup. We're going to make this cup look more round, okay, instead of so flat. So we're going to take the light pink, and what we're going to do, we're going to cover over all the shaded areas and go all the way out. Okay. And then we're going to go light pressure, cover all the shaded areas, but we're not going to go out quite as far with this color. And then we're going to go with light pressure with the dark, and we're not going to go out near as far with this either, even less far than we were with the other one. Okay. Again, medium pressure now. All over the whole thing again. This is how we're blending and ombreing all of this out. Okay. And then medium pressure. Not quite as far. And then medium pressure with the dark. And then heavy pressure. Okay. Called and chosen very soon here. Oh, awesome. The Life of Christ. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to make sure I follow you too. Let me double check and make sure I follow you, because I don't know if I do or not. Let me see. It's not letting me look. I'll look on my phone in a minute when I move y'all out of the way. All right. So now we have that. So now I'm going to take just a little bit lighter. This is where the 240 colors come in, because I want something that's even lighter than this pink that I have, which is very, very light. So I can go and I can find an even lighter color, and I can go in now with this lighter color and bring that out. And then I can go in with the white and blend it. And then now we've got, okay, so now you see how that's round, it looks round as opposed to flat. So that is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about our, adding these colored pencils in. Now what we're going to do with the brown, I'm going to use the So Color brown. I'm going to use the coral and the apricot, the coral, and the coffee. Okay, those are the 3 I'm using in the So Color. And I'm going to bring the face out first. I'm going to go around the ears. Okay, light touch. Okay, then I'm going to go with the medium. I go up the ears about halfway. And I'm going to go down the head about halfway into that. But we're not bringing it into the light area of the face. And then we're going to go in with the dark. And we're going to darken up just the areas that we want to kind of blend. Okay, same thing, medium pressure this time. Okay, medium pressure with the middle. So this is just making this kind of fade into the areas we want it to fade into. Okay. Okay. And heavy pressure. Okay. Okay. I'm going to bring that up just a tad. Right here. There we go. And right here. Oh, that looks good. Okay. So see, now his head looks nice and round. Okay. So now we are going to, I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish, but thank you for asking. Can you ask in English? My daughter's not an artist per se. She's not a drawing artist, but she is, her talent is photography, and that's where she puts her art and creativity into photography, and she's very good at it. So, like incredibly good at it, like better than I could have ever imagined. She's really, really good. You can follow her work on Featherlight Photos on TikTok. She has a TikTok page for her photography, and it's Featherlight Photos. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that, guys. Those of you in Texas, are y'all getting ready for this big cold we have coming in? I know it's going to be, I'm going to be holed up underneath a blanket. Because, sorry, does the white color paint white on the other colors? Okay. It does not with watercolor. With gouache, it will. So if this was done with wash paint, and the white is going to be opaque. But with the watercolors, it's not going to be. It's going to fade into the color, so it's transparent. So that's the difference. If I use white and I need it to be pure white, I use either a gesso, a white acrylic. So that's the difference. If I use white and I need it to be pure white, I use either a gesso, a white acrylic, a white gouache, or a white acrylic marker. Sorry, y'all, my throat is acting weird all of a sudden. I guess I've been talking too long. All right, let's do the pink in the ears. So I'm going to draw that out. Light pink, medium pink. This is light pressure, dark pink. Okay, now we're going with medium pressure. Thank you, Golden Girl. I use the, we use the Meeden paper. It is right here. I use the 5x7, and I cut it into 4 equal 2.5 by 3.5 inch AECO sizes. So if you do ACO sizes like I do, like this, you get 4 out of each sheet of 5x7 with no waste, which is great. Because you know how when you cut paper, sometimes you end up with an extra little piece that you can't use because the size didn't quite fit equally. But in the ACEO size, which is 2.5 by 3.5, it cuts equally in the 5x7 size. So you don't have any waste that, you know, and you don't have any paper that goes to waste, which is great. And I use the cold pressed 100% cotton. Okay, guys. See how those ears now are blending into that? Love it. Let me just go over some of the little detail work just to make sure that it's showing up. Now that I've gone over it with pencil. There we go. Oh, I love it. Looks good. Let me do that here too. That cross hatching worked really good for this shading. Right here around the shoulders. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. I think we have everything except for his belly. I think his belly is a little flat. I'm going to use this peachy color, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to find like a skin tone. Like maybe, hang on. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this skin tone with, and maybe a little, maybe a teeny tiny bit of a brown or an orangey. That's orange. I don't want orange. I want brown. Hang on. Right here. I think it's looking pretty good considering. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Christy, you're welcome. I'm sorry that I am not, you're obviously you're very, very intelligent with being bilingual. I am just not. I don't have it in me to, I have this thing called Duolingo on my computer that I practice all the time. And I almost responded with no hablo español because I've been working on like simple stuff, but I wasn't sure if I was on track with that or if I was remembering it right. So I didn't want to embarrass myself. All right, we're going to use, we're going to use the light first. So we're going to go across with the light all the way over the belly. And then we're going to do the medium. Yeah, there is, Angel, but not, I'm using the desktop version and it doesn't have one on it. On my phone, it does, but on the desktop, it doesn't. I'm using the desktop because y'all are above my head right now, so I can't see my phone. Okay, and then we're going to do with the dark. This is a small area, so we don't have to do quite as many layers, but we do want to make sure we bring out that belly a little bit more. There we go. That looks better. All right, now let's put the, is this the right one? Yep. Okay. Let's put the arms in and the belly highlights. There we go. All right. I think that looks good. Now I'm going to add right at the base. I am going to add just a little bit of gray to bring that together and bring that out and make that kind of look more of a ground. So I'm going to use several different shades of this. This is where the 240 is going to come in, you guys. You're going to see this come together because I'm going to use, I think, 5 or 6 different ones. All right, so I'm going to take these and I'm going to order them. And you can see, like, these look very close to the same colors, but they're not, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dark and I'm going to go right up underneath this area, right up underneath the cup, okay? Now I'm going to take the next dark and I'm going to go over that, but I'm going to bring it down a little further. And I'm going to go out a little further with it, okay? Then I'm going to take the next one, which is this one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go out a little further, go over the whole thing, and come down just a little bit lower and out a little bit further. Okay, now I'm going to take the next one, same thing, start out a little further, come down a little further, and I'm going to go out. And then the last one, all over the whole thing, out a little further, come down just a little bit more, and out a little further. Okay, and I go over the whole thing with it as it blends. So now, if you look at the base, you see how that kind of fades forward? That comes from having so many different shades of the same color. That is why I said it was, when I had the 72 color set, I loved it for so long, but when I finally learned how to blend really well, I understood why you needed multiples of every color in different hues because, or in different shades, because doing something like this, you can't do with just 2 grays, but you can do it with 5 grays. So that is part of why I love the 240 set. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, so this is where we're at. Let's go ahead and do our splatters. We're going to splatter in pink today, y'all, because I just can't help it. He just looks so, he turned out cute, even though I was really worried, y'all. I thought he was going to look really bad. But he turned out cute, so I'm proud of him. I learned a lot in today's lesson. Learned a whole lot in today's lesson. So, all right, let me cover his little face up because I don't want him to be, I don't want his face to be splattered. All right. Okay, his face is covered. I'm going to take my Meta number 1. I'm going to dip it into my dark pink that I used for my shading. And I'm going to just splatter. Some small splatters. Okay. Let me take that off and let's get him dry. Y'all, he's so cute. I love him. I'm just so surprised that he turned out. I was really worried about today's because I saw this and I was like, this is hard. And I even said when I prompted my chat GPT, I said, make it simple because I don't want it to be too difficult. And yet here we are. So he made it difficult. They made it difficult anyway. All right, so this is it. Let's go ahead and remove. We didn't do a background on this one. If we wanted to at this point, it would be kind of hard. So I'm just going to pull it, and here's what we're going to do to get our background. Okay, we're going to take this, and if you want to, you can give it just a little. See, this is a 01. I want a 05. Nope, I'm going to. You could leave it just like that if you wanted to, or you could go along the sides and just give it some very loose borders. I'm not going to do that because I just like him the way he is. He doesn't necessarily need one, but he's so cute. His feet, I know his little tootsies are so cute. I love them. Oh, shoot. Drop my lid. Okay. Let me go ahead and I'm going to sign him. This weekend while it's cold, I am going to be getting in the house under a blanket, getting my listings for EBAY done. And this will be one of them. Isn't he cute, y'all? I think that he turned, I mean, he's not perfect by any means. I mean, if you look, you can see he is definitely not the same, but he's cute. He's still just as cute, I think, just in a different way. So I think that he's precious. And I'm proud of myself for stepping out of my comfort zone and doing him because I was worried that he was going to be too difficult. But we did him anyway. All right, so let's talk about the things that we used today. While I have the pencils up, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the differences in the pencils because I have people all the time go, don't you think 240 pencils is a little bit of an overkill? And my answer to that, I actually had somebody ask me that yesterday in the live. And the truth is that it can be if you are not used to shading or you don't understand the process, then it just seems like a whole lot of pencils that you're not going to use, okay? However, once you understand the way that shading works, then colored pencils are definitely the way to go. Like having a ton of different options are the way to go. Okay. I mean, we used in this one drawing right here. Okay. In this one thing right here, I want you to see how many of these colors that we used. All right. We used all of these right here. Okay. These are all of the pencils that we used in that drawing. That is a lot, guys, for a drawing this small with just those few colors. The reason that we use so many was because we want this blending to look seamless. We don't want the blending to look like it's got harsh lines. We want the blending to look seamless. So you can do it like this. Okay. You can have that blending look seamless, or you can do something like this. Let's say I want to blend these two together. So I'm going to blend this one, and then I'm going to blend this one. Okay, that's going to make it a lot harder because we don't have that medium in the middle, right? But if I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this again, and then I do this again. Oh, I've got. And then I do this. Okay. So we have a lot less seamless. I mean, we have more of a seamless. Okay, but then if I reach over and I add this one in, then look what we have. Okay. So, thank you, Babs. I'm so glad you had fun. That's the whole point. It's about the journey, not the results, but I bet he is so cute. I bet he turned out so cute. I'm excited to see it. I can't look right now because I'm on live, but once I'm off of here, I'm going to go look. So now if we were to do this, we could blend. We would start with this one. Then we would do this one. Then we would do this one. And then we would do this one. Okay. And we would go back with a medium pressure and do this. And then this. And then this. Okay. And then we go back and we do heavy pressure. We go heavy pressure, then heavy pressure, then heavy pressure, and then heavy pressure. Okay, and you can just keep doing that over and over until you get the blend that you want. And you can see, guys, that here we had 2 colors of pink. Here we had 3 colors of pink. Here we had 4 colors of pink. Here we actually used 5. Okay, so you can see the difference in how it blends based on the number of shades that you have in a color. Okay, so if you have a 72 color set of pencils, like the one that I absolutely love, I love this set of pencils. Okay, this was my first colored pencil set and I love it so much. Thank you, the Life of Christ. Thank you so much. I'm going to check and make sure I'm following you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. Hang on. All right, now I'm following you back. Okay. So if you have multiple shades, then you can do better. So if you have the 72 color, you might have 5 options of pink. But if you have this set, which is the 240 set, which is the one that I use now, then I have all of these pinks, right? And I have additional pinks here even, okay? So I can, so I can go through and I can pull all of the pinks that I need. Okay. So that is the idea behind the like going, okay, now I have all of these to choose from. Okay. That's the difference. And so if you look at like, let me find, here it is. If you look at this coloring page that I did, and I try to show this every time because I want you guys to see the difference, this is with the 72 color set, which is beautiful. And I absolutely love it. It blends really well. And I absolutely just adore it. Okay. But down here, I use the 240 set. Do you see the difference in how I had more options of green? So I had more gradients to use. Here I had 3. Here I had 6. Here I had 2. Here I had 5. Here I had 3. Here I had 6. Okay. So that's the difference in seeing, like, having a set that's got, say, 5 colors of each shade, as opposed to a set like this that has, you know, tons of like, look at, this is all the oranges and yellows, right? So I have a ton, and these are more oranges and pinks and reds. And so you have the options of colors and shades so much more in a set that's got more for you. So that's, and the way that I choose, Angel, is I put them up next to each other. So like these grays, I looked and I was like, I wanted, and when I was doing this right here, I wanted to have this base come forward, like lighten up as it comes forward, right? That's what I wanted there. So I got a dark gray. I started with the dark, and then I just got I went very softly through my colors to pick the next shade. So even though this is the darkest, this is just barely lighter. This is barely lighter. This is barely lighter. So, but by the time you get to this one, it's significantly lighter than this one. Okay. So I just put them beside each other and I look at them because I don't know anything about color theory at all. So all I know is that I wanted this to be darker along the base here, and I wanted it to be lighter out here. And I wanted it to drag forward. So I started with my darkest color. Then I took my next darkest color and colored over that darkest color and just brought it down further with the next darkest color. Then I did the same thing with the third darkest color, colored over my darkest, colored over my second darkest, and brought it down even further with that color. And I just kept pulling it forward. And that is how you get it to blend, and it looks seamless. It looks like a shadow, right? But it was basically, it was just 5 different colors of gray. So that is how I did that with the colors. And so when I say when I say it's important, I did not go to art school. No, I did not. The life of Christ. I know nothing about color theory or art. I started painting 2 years ago when I bought this Meeden palette. I actually bought the 48 color set. This is the 96 color set, but I bought the 48 color Meeden palette, and that's what I started learning. So I don't know about color theory, but I can see with my eyes. And so, yes, I am self-taught. And I bought that book called This is Not a Sketchbook, It's an Art Class. And I learned to draw with that, which is right here. This book right here is what I learned to draw with. And I love it. I still use it at least once a week. I pull it out and do a lesson in it just to keep myself really refreshed and knowing what I'm doing. Because I absolutely do not know what I'm doing. But I can see, and I can tell shading, and I can see that. That's right, Miss. That's right, Babs. Good job. Good job. See? There you go. And I did too. I learned from people on TikTok. You know, I learned watching videos on TikTok. I learned on watching videos on the Tube of You, all that stuff. So, absolutely, you know, absolutely I'm not an artist by any means from a trained standpoint, but I do know that I can see with my own eyes, and I know how to, see dark versus light. So that's how I've learned. So these colors, so having options makes a difference with colored pencils, okay? So you're looking at, this is an option with a set that has 72 colors, which is still beautiful, and I love it. And if you're new to coloring with colored pencils, this is the perfect set. That's the So Color set, which is option number 7 in my shopping cart. It's a beautiful set, and you can see it is beautiful. You can color beautifully with it. This is the 240 set that's pinned below. I can shade much better with that because I have more options of green, so I can fade it out slower so that it makes it less noticeable than when you're fading it out with just a few colors. All right. So that's where I'm at. That's the reason that I do the 240 set versus the 72 now. However, I do use my 72 color set. The ones that we use today, these are out of my 72 color set. I use it too. But what I'm saying is that 72 color set worked great for me for almost 4 years, and I loved it. But I had gotten to a point where I was like, man, I wish I had a brown that was in between these two browns. And then I would do something else, and I would go, man, I wish I had a pink that was in between these two pinks. And finally I did that enough that I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get a bigger set. But the thing is that I loved this brand and this set so much, but they didn't have one that was bigger. So I got this color set on a whim, thinking I hope that I love these pens as much as I love the 72 color set. And I absolutely do. They're actually a little bit better quality, which surprises me. So they are a little bit better quality than the set that I had. They are a professional set, and I absolutely cannot recommend them enough. They're really, really good. They even have a set, I think a bigger set than the 240. I think they have like a 500 set or something like that. So it's not like, I mean, they definitely are, it's a good set. It's a very good set. Oh, Feral Mom, what'd you do? Oh gosh, you got the color, you're going to love them. I mean, I know you might be in debt now, but I'm telling you, you're going to love them. You're going to get them and you're going to be like, oh my God, I love these so much. And if you use your gel pens and then you use your colored pencils over them, then your colored pencils over them, they're beautiful. I've used them over my gel pens before. Angela, the small set that I recommend is the 72 color set. It's right here. That's the set that I started with. And honestly, it worked good for me for almost 4 years. The only reason that I have now switched to the 240 set is because now that I have played around with colored pencils long enough, I understand enough about them to catch myself when I'm using this smaller set. For instance, if I'm using this pink set, I caught myself going, man, I wish I had a pink that was in between these two pinks, but I didn't have one in that set. And then I would go through and I would go, man, I wish I had a brown that was in between these two browns. And so now I'm at a point in my journey that I needed more color options. So that is when I switched to the 240 set, because for years, the 72 color set was fine. And I'll show you, because I'm a coloring book artist. I publish coloring books. And this is one of my books. And I did this with my 72 color set. Now, I want you to know that I love this picture. I think it is beautiful. It looks amazing and wonderful. And I love how it colored. And I'm perfectly happy with it. And this too. However, you can see here, I use grayscale because I do grayscale coloring books. You can see the blending is very, very simple, right? Because I didn't have the options of 5 or 6 different yellows. I only had the options of a few yellows, right? Okay, well here, same thing, okay? I had a few options of orange, a few options of pink, and a few options of green. Looks beautiful. I love it. But here, I had multiple options of greens, multiple options of pinks, and multiple options of orange. Yes, exactly. The life of Christ. Much as the vision gets clearer, the color range opens up. And, it's funny, because we were talking earlier about, our relationship with Jesus. And when you say that, it reminds me, as your vision gets clearer with Jesus, I can imagine when we go into heaven, the color options we're going to have there. Like, can you imagine that? That's going to be insane. Like, talk about, it's not going to be 240. I can tell you that. But think about, like, see the difference. But for 4 years, I was very, very much happy with the set. Okay. It wasn't until I really started getting into the smooth blending look of coloring that I felt like I needed more colors. So if you are a beginner with colors, this 72 color set is going to be perfect for you. If you are used to colored pencils, then you already know that this 240 color set right here, and it's going to be so much better for blending purposes. So, oh wow, that's so cool. I love that. Yeah, so Angela, if you're just starting out, the 72 color set is perfect for you. There's no need as a beginner to need the 240 set. And from a price standpoint, there's a big difference. So it's pointless to grab, you won't need the 240 set. The 72 color set will be plenty for you to start with. There's no reason to, to drop that money into the 240 set when you've got the option of the 72 color set, just so you know. Okay, so that was the colored pencils that we used today, guys. I cannot imagine that, the life of Christ. I can't imagine. But I've seen stories on the Tube of You, and I've watched them of people who have had that experience, and they all say the same thing. Okay, so we used our colored pencils, and now we are going, we also used the Meeden 96 color palette, and I'm going to say the same thing about this 96 color palette, okay? I'm going to tell you this. I had the 48 color palette first as a beginner, and well, I'm still a beginner, but as a beginner, this was my go-to palette. You can see because it is a mess. It is completely crazy, and it's because I have used it every day and did use it every single day for probably almost a year and a half, if not longer. And you can see I still have plenty of paints left in that, and yet I used it every day. So they're very pigmented, very creamy and buttery, so they'll last you a long time. This set comes with 48 colors. It only comes with 6 of the metallics and 6 of the neons, and the rest are your primaries and secondaries. It has an eraser, an art sponge, a place to mix, and it has a brush and a pencil. I upgraded after a year and a half of using this and loving it. I upgraded to the 96 color, okay? I upgraded to the 96 color because I wanted more metallics for highlighting. I liked the fact that it had 12 of the macaroon colors, which the 48 color didn't have any of. And it has the neons, but the neons here are a little different than the neons in the 48 color palette. It also has 48 of your primary and secondary colors. Both of these palettes are arranged from lightest to darkest to help you with shading. And all of them pop out, including in the 48 color palette. So you can pull them to your workstation and then you can put them back, which is what I do because I like to pull them out. I don't like to work with it up in the back like that. They all come with the brush and the pencil, the eraser. This one comes with 2 art sponges, and this one also comes with a palette that folds out for mixing. And when you're done, you just close it up like this, shut it, and off you go. Okay. So this is the 96 color. That is what we use today to create our little mouse. Isn't he cute? So cute. Okay. The other thing that we used was the Meeden brush set. Okay. I have the 4 brush set. This is not the, Angela, thank you for that purchase. You are going to love, love, love that set. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And you got a really good price on it too, by the way. It must be on sale because it was more expensive when I got it. Okay. So we got, so this is the Meeden watercolor brushes, the professional set. It is the 1, 3, 5, and 7. And guys, this brush set, these brushes will make a huge difference in your art. I'm not playing around. 72 color set isn't free shipping. Okay, that's good to know because I don't know. It doesn't always tell me that. What's the shipping cost on it? Did it tell you? Because I don't know what the shipping cost is, but sometimes that can be a lot. So it's always good to look at the shipping for sure. Just under $8. Okay, that's not horrible, but still, I get it. Okay, so it's a small box, though. I don't know why it would be $8. Anyway, these brushes are under 30 bucks, and sometimes you can pay that much for one professional brush, but you don't have to with this set. This is a professional brush set. It's under $30. They have these beautiful pointy tips so you can do detail work with them, and they don't rust, so this metal around it will not rust. They're designed ergonomically so as to reduce hand fatigue. So if you're painting for hours at a time, you don't have that hand fatigue, okay? Angela, thank you for the follow. I come on every day at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. I'm following you back now. And you're welcome to join us in our tutorials and paint with us every day. So this set right here is a really good professional brush set. If you're looking for a good brush set that will not break the bank, this is a great set. It's the Meeden 4 brush set. They do have a 9 brush set if you feel like you need more sizes. However, the 4 brush set has been perfect for me. It is the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 7. And it has these ergonomic handles that reduce hand fatigue. It has the ferrules that will not rust, so you do not get rust into your art. It has the synthetic squirrel hair, so it holds tons of water, and they hold their tips really, really well. So this is an amazing professional brush set, and it won't break the bank, which I love. So if you're looking for that, brushes do matter, guys, when it comes to your art. So go ahead and you can click that link if you're interested in getting a good set of brushes. All right. Okay. So that was that brush set. And then thank you, Crystal Joy. I think he turned out cute too. I love it. Love it so much. I really do. His little feet are just too cute. Okay. The other brush set that we used was the golden maple detail brush set. This is the one that stays sold out, but they are in stock right now because I'm able to give you a link, and normally I can't. But we used the 18 today. I think we used the 20 yesterday. You get rounds, and you get flat, you get round, and you get your fan, and you get your liners as well. Okay, so you get 20 brushes in this set. Comes with this case. Love this set. It is a very good set. It's the same thing. The ferrule's not going to rust on this, which is really good. They are very short, so you can control your strokes really easily. They don't have the ergonomic wider handle at the bottom, but I haven't had a ton of problems with my hands wearing out when I use them. So maybe they have something on them that I don't know about that helps with that. But they are incredibly intuitive when it comes to your strokes, and especially when you're doing like hair, like this little guy. So love this set. And again, this set sells out pretty fast. And they're on sale today from $49.98 to $29.99, which is a great price on that. So if you're going to get that set, then break down and get it because it is worth it, I'm telling you. Angela, thank you so much for that purchase. I see that you got the 72 color set. And did you manage to get, oh, you got them anyway? Okay. Oh gosh, I know but it's one small box. I don't know why it would be $8, but I mean, I don't know. Postage is so high, you guys. These days, I mean, even when I'm mailing just like a letter and I have to buy a stamp, I'm like, good grief. I remember when stamps were like 20 cents. And they are not anymore. Okay, but thank you for that purchase. I do appreciate it. Yeah, it is. It comes out. It's still fairly inexpensive. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now let's see. The last thing that we used was this Nick Pro pencil set. Okay, guys. So this is the drawing set that I was talking about. This set has your mechanical pencils. The reason I like using mechanical pencils is the tip stays the same width. If you use a regular pencil, you sharpen it and then you use it and it gets dull and the width of your pencil line changes. So you can't get consistent lines when you're drawing. But this, you can do that with mechanical pencils. So that's why I always draw with a mechanical pencil. These are really strong metal, but they're lightweight. You get your 0.5, your 0.7, your 0.9, and 3 of your 2.0s. You get all of the different lead hardnesses, so you can get your light leads and your dark leads all in each size. You also get colored leads for the 2.0s, and you get extra erasers, a kneaded eraser. You get 3 of these soft erasers right here, and you get pencil sharpeners for your 2.0. For me to... Bye, the Life of Christ. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'll be back on tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for those of you who want to join me. And you guys are, if you need to hop off and you've already gone through and you know what we used and all the things, I just like to go through before and after our tutorial to let everybody know what we used. So anyway, this is a great little pencil set. It comes with a travel kit. I like having different sizes of pencil leads because when I'm drawing, I can draw, like I drew this and I use like the 0.7 for the center, but then I use the 0.5 for the outsides and for the extra like little highlights. And then I even think I used the 0.9 in the very, very center. So the different sizes are great to have when you're doing sketches. I did a sketch for you guys and I'm going to create a digital download for you guys. And that was this. And I used those pencils to do this. And I used the different sizes, like I used the 0.7 to do this hair, but I used the 0.5 to do this hair. I used the 0.9 to do the outlines around and to do his little whiskers. So it's great to have options on sizes of pencils and to have consistency of lines. If I had done this hair with a regular pencil, I would have had to have sharpened it every 2 or 3 minutes because to keep my lines consistent, because the pencil lead would go down to a dull lead. So you start out really sharp and then it goes duller and duller, so it gets wider and wider, and you don't want that when you're doing a sketch. So mechanical pencils are the way to go. Awesome, Angel. I love that. Thank you so much. All right, so that was what we used today. The only other thing I can say, we did use the Grabby Multiliners, which are very similar to the Microns. So if you like Microns, stick with those. I like these Grabby Multiliners because you get colored options too in the same set, whereas the Microns, you have to get the black and the colored sets separately, or at least the ones that I've seen. So, but we use the Grabby Multiliners. We use the 003, we use the 005, and we use the 01 today. And those are right down here. Let me, I got to plug y'all in. Hang on. I got to plug in my phone before it dies. There we go. Ooh, it was almost dead, y'all. Okay. So that is what we used, as far as the pens go, and they're waterproof. So you can do, you can put water over them and they will not smear, unlike the one I used right here to sign my sloth. I used a regular pen and then I accidentally dropped water on it and it messed my signature up on my sloth. So now I'm going to have to figure out how to fix that. I'm not even sure how I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to have to do white all the way around and re-sign it. But yeah, I messed up my sloth because I didn't use one of these to sign with. So just so you know, when you're using water, if you're not using a waterproof pen, it will definitely mess up when you get water on it. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's everything that we used today. Does anybody have any questions on anything that we used today? If you do, please pop them in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to hop off of here and go make me some lunch because it is lunchtime for me. I want to say thank you to everybody who made purchases today. Angel, Feral Mom, let's see who else. Golden Girl, thank you so much. Everybody that made purchases today, I'm just so grateful for that. It does help me out. This is my current income, so that's always great when you support my showcase. But you can do things like tap the screen with likes. You can hit my fan club up right here. You can share the lives out. All of that is supporting me without having to spend any money at all, and I'm super grateful for that as well. So you guys, I love you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for another tutorial. Kinder Kelly, I don't see it. What did you grab? I didn't see a purchase come through for you. So I want to make sure that you, let me see. I'm going to scroll back through here and just make sure. It might have been, let me see. The colored pencils. Huh. Interesting. I didn't see it come through, but that doesn't mean that it didn't, it clears them off. It only gives me the last like 6 or so at a time. So it might have cleared off before I saw it. So just so you know, it's showing that I had other purchases than what I'm showing on the screen. But currently I only have 6 different purchases on my screen to look at. It doesn't show me everything. So you're probably on here somewhere. And when I get off of the live, it'll show me all of them. So, but thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I'm sure that it gave me, if you click the link and you got them from there, I'm sure it gave me the credit for it. So it will come through, and I don't know why it doesn't show me all of them. It doesn't make any sense to me why it would clear them off, but it does for some reason. But I don't always have a chance. I don't always have a chance to look up and see the purchase before it clears. So that just had the ones that I called out were just the ones that happened to be on there at the time. So, but thank you so much for that purchase. And you guys are awesome. I'm so thankful to have you guys on my lives every day. I look forward to seeing you guys or talking to you guys every day. It's one of the highlights of my day. So thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We're going to, I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow, but I have my list right here. So I will go through and try to find us something that we can do tomorrow. All right, guys. All right. Bye. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Standard.